everybody! I am puppeting by night. Didn't expect my voice to go that low, did you, Zach?
I thought you were going to say blah blah blah.
I don't say blah blah blah.
You just did.
But
Tricked ya.
sorry. But yes, we are here tonight for Werewolf by Night, a Marvel Universe special presentation.
Special presentation, maybe? It's not a show, but it's also not quite a movie.
No, it's like 54 minutes in total. That include 5 minutes of end credit scenes.
Something like that, yeah.
But we're here to talk about Werewolf by Night. It is, well, unexpected. In this age of Marvel movies and TV shows, this special is something new. And honestly, I am thrilled to talk about it without even discussing the plot. Right as it started, when it switched to black and white, I was there and I was ready. I was hooked. It knows what it wanted to be, and that is fantastic. Any brief initial thoughts, Zach?
Yeah, because when I saw the trailer, I think a month or so ago, the black and white was a big hook for me. I love the whole B movie or the old school Universal style horror film it was going for. It's fresh, it's new, it's not Marvel by numbers like we've been seeing a lot of in phases 3 and 4. It's the characters.
Marvel by numbers.
There you go. The characters are cool. They're refreshing. They're new. There's not a bunch of cameo. That's the other thing is other shows that are like She-Hulk or Hawkeye. You have all these cameos from other Marvel projects. You don't have that. It's its own thing. It stands alone, and it does a really darn good job. My only gripe with it is that it's not longer.
Yes, it has the bones to be just a little longer, to be a full movie. And if this was in theaters, it sadly probably wouldn't do well because there's not enough, maybe with enough marketing that it could do well. But without that, I don't know. But this is one of the best things that Marvel has released in Phase 4.
I'd say it's probably the best thing they've released on Disney Plus. And I've liked a good number of the Disney Plus shows, but this is probably the best thing they put on there.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a point. While we did say we would appreciate it being a little longer, it doesn't have the problem of trying to make itself fit into like a 6-episode miniseries. If this was a miniseries, it would fail. I feel like, yeah. You can only go so long. That being said, a little longer. That's all I'm saying. But the plot is rather simple. What's his name? Do you know Elsie Bloodstone's father?
Ulysses Bloodstone.
Yes, Ulysses Bloodstone is dead. So he has contacted great hunters across the world, his wife has, to participate in a hunt for the famed Bloodstone. His daughter is also there, but she's not a big fan of her dad, even when he's walking and talking inside of his coffin. Not a fan.
That was one of the best scenes. I mean, the practical effects usage in this presentation, short film, whatever you want to call it, love the practical effects. It's so refreshing to not just see CGI used everywhere. So when he's got the animatronic Ulysses is like moving his arms and talking. It's really cool.
Yeah. Also, just the cast of characters, we don't even get names because a huge part of the big Scottish guy goes ahead and says, "Oh, well, we're anonymous for a reason," but it gets so lonely. Lonely. Then he tries to kill everybody.
I mean, and you don't really. Well, that's the thing is you don't need to know the backstory of all the characters. I mean, it's a horror movie. Most of them aren't going to live to the end scene, to the end credits. So it doesn't take time. It doesn't try to cram in a bunch of backstory and lore that isn't really necessary. It focuses on the ones that you are going to follow, the ones the the ones who do ultimately, mostly make it to the end of the program. But yeah, they all gather for this hunt, this ritual, because now that Ulysses is dead, whoever can win this hunt, whoever can find this monster and kill it, inherits the Bloodstone. Which is the only thing in this show that is not black and white, which is actually really cool. I like how the red glow strikes against the black and white scenery.
I agree. I was watching with somebody and they said, that's illegal.
It's breaking the law. It's
That's
not
right.
black or white.
But no, even with that, it's got such a what's the director's name again?
Michael, is it Giacchino? He's a composer. He's done composing for like a bunch of stuff. But I think it's Michael Giacchino.
Doctor Strange's main theme. Thank him for that, because that's his score.
All of the new Sony Spider-Mans from Marvel, Mission Impossible, the Incredibles films, all composed by him, and he actually did a really good job directing this one too.
Yeah. And he did the music as well, and that's very clear. It is a love letter to classic Universal horror, and I think it does it extremely well. I mean, you do have a giant CGI man thing, but you can't really do a practical man thing.
Yeah, that would be really difficult, I think.
I wouldn't know about practical man things. I'm a puppet.
You are a practical effect.
No, I'm a practical effect, but I do not have a practical man thing.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it.
The jokes.
Yep.
Get dirty, Jack. Get dirty in the ground. We're talking about people getting their heads impaled with swords here.
Throats cut, arms chopped off,
no.
People set on fire. It's actually very violent. I was actually surprised at the level of violence in this for a Marvel program. It was shockingly violent.
Yes.
Not quite Punisher and Daredevil level, but just enough below that though to make it stand out from like all of the, Loki and Miss Marvel and all that stuff.
When Jack, he's one of the main characters. There's spoiler review right here in the title. If you're not looking at that, you spoiled yourself. But yes, when the werewolf is revealed, Jack, our friend, yes, he does become the werewolf. But when he becomes that, and he has his scene just slaughtering through the hallway, blood on the camera.
That was
blood. Yes,
so good. He pushes on somebody's back or chest and it just explodes. Like, oh,
it was really good.
That was really good.
It's also I think when we're talking about how I can already hear people who are just black pills about everything. Talking about Elsa Bloodstone. Oh no, Elsa, what have you done? You just made her, look at her, just flipping around. Why would they add this character? Those people can go eat something. Werewolf, and the werewolf will eat you.
Look, I mean, the fact is, it's from the comic continuity. Elsa is the descendant of Ulysses Bloodstone. She is an acclaimed monster hunter, and she's not. I mean, shoot, I was even watching it. I never got the Miss Perfect does everything right. I mean, she ends up getting like her femur cut by an act. Like, she's not perfect. She's faulty. She gets wounded. She gets captured. All throughout the show, she's nowhere near this perfect monster hunter that does everything right. So yeah, anyone trying to say that she's like a Mary Sue or whatever, it's like, go read
when she's locked in the cage, because that's what happens. They find out that Jack is a monster because he touches the Bloodstone at one point after freeing Man-Thing, his buddy. Yep. And when he gets locked in the cage, they lock Elsa in there too because Elsa helped. And oh well, you helped with a monster, even though she didn't know that. But with that, it's just, you can see the look of horror on her face as behind her
as she's watching it. Yeah. Oh, that was a great scene.
Yes.
it just was such a, I felt like it was like watching an older film from the 1940s or 50s, even like those old like Werewolf or Wolfman movies where they would use like shadows and even, not cruder effects, but not CGI. But a lot of the horror that you would get, a lot of it would come from the facial expressions of the characters who saw what was going on. And so I really, really like that a lot. Yeah, and I thought that Elsa was
Yeah.
played really well. The actress that played her, I think, was Laura Donnelly. I'm not familiar with her, but I think she did a really good job. The guy who played Jack also did really well. I thought. I thought he played
You know
Werewolf
who he
by Night
plays?
really well. Who?
He's Hector from Coco.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, learned that last night. I don't think he has anything of greater note that I can recall. But with that, yeah, no, I thought he did great. We've
Yeah,
actually read some Werewolf by Night before,
I
where he kicked Moon Knight's ass.
I wonder if that's why, because he has like the skull paintings on his head and on his face. And at the beginning of the episode, he tells like I think he tells the Scottish guy it's like because of his ancestors. I was like, I wonder if that's a little plug for Coco in there.
I'm not sure.
I don't
I
know.
don't know
Anyway,
what they were going for there because if you think about it, I mean, I guess he is supposed to be Hispanic here, and that's fine. I have no problem with it.
I don't
Jack
think it
in the
has
book.
it doesn't really change anything character wise. I don't believe so.
No, it doesn't really matter. In the end, it doesn't really even matter. You tried so hard to lose it all.
Anyway,
Anyway, yes.
that's all.
So we've gone over just with broad strokes.
Yeah,
We don't want to tell you everything that happens in this film, even though we just spoiled basically all the plot.
kind of.
It's worth
Well,
watching.
definitely.
If you have not been a fan of many of the things Marvel lately, that's fine. I still highly recommend this. You don't have to watch anything else to watch this.
Yep.
And it isn't leading up to anything. Not really. Not that I can tell.
Nope.
No hints for
It's
Moon Knight season 2 or anything.
very refreshing. Because that was one of the things I like about it. It's not like Endgame where you have to watch 12 movies to understand anything. It's completely cut off. The only reference it has to the bigger universe is at the beginning. They show a picture of the Avengers, and that's it. And then it's just like these are the people that protect us from like these threats, and then hunters protect us from the things that go bump in the night, and that's it. There's nothing else to go off of. I'm not even really sure what time period it takes place in. It could easily take place in like the 40s, I think, or they use like the phonograms and stuff.
Well, I think that was just her father's aesthetic.
Oh,
They
I mean,
talked about
maybe
going to eat sushi, and so that's a very
they did. You're right.
Yeah.
If they hadn't done that, I would think it had taken place in like the 40s or something.
And obviously, the sushi's been around forever, but in that context, no. And that mug, I don't remember what the mug had on it exactly. But
did it have like a sunflower or something on it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I have to go. Oh darn! I'll have to go back and watch it again now to find out what it was.
It's definitely worth it. Yes, Graphic Man, I have seen it. Indeedly do. If you want to see, yeah, yes.
He was also in the Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein movie. Where he played the Wolfman in that, which is a really fun.
I have not seen that.
I highly recommend it. I think it's one of the best Abbott and Costello movies out there.
Alrighty. But I think we've covered pretty much everything. If you are interested, go watch it. Trust me, you're going to do yourself a favor. It was a great old time. I'm so glad we're here to review it. I was almost like, do I want to? Yes, you absolutely do. And, we're going to be reviewing She-Hulk. If you're joining us now, you can watch it after if you're watching, well, after this broadcast. We're going to be reviewing She-Hulk, And, well, you've heard my thoughts over the past week on She-Hulk. But
Feels like we shouldn't even be talking about it on the heels of something so good.
no. But it's worth talking about the next episode.
Yes.
So join us over there. Also, tonight, we're going to be reading Werewolf by Night, issue 1. So not the character's premiere, but his first issue in his own series, his own book. He earned that right. And he turns to stone. It's weird. But if you want to see a stoned werewolf, join us.
Who doesn't?
But that's it for now. Please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Did you enjoy this as much as we did? We want to hear it. And from us to you, thank you so much for watching. Before we say good night. Didn't expect my balls to drop like that, did you?